Eyewitness News with John Gatfield.
The fires themselves, in terms of size, are simply awesome. Probably in size have never been experienced, certainly in living memory, in our country.
Good evening. Over the next hour in this special bulletin, 10 Eyewitness News will bring you up to date with the worsening bushfire crisis in New South Wales. This evening the confirmed toll stands at 3 dead, 23 in hospital, at least 28 homes destroyed and many more damaged. With more than 500,000 hectares of New South Wales already scorched, tens of thousands of people have been evacuated to safety. For the second successive night, Sydney is ringed by fires and blanketed by smoke. Fires on the upper North Shore have claimed homes at Killara, Marsfield, Lane Cove, Lindfield and Chatswood, just 8 train stops from Sydney's business centre. To the northeast, an alarming new development with all of Terry Hills evacuated and 7 surrounding suburbs under threat. In Sydney's south, houses have been lost around Bangor and Menai. Backburning today has eased that danger. But the situation is deteriorating rapidly in the Blue Mountains, with fire now well into the Gross Valley and threatening townships from Springwood through to Glenbrook. Outside Sydney, the outer suburbs of Gosford and Wyong are still under threat. The Central Coast remains on a knife's edge, and fires around Singleton and the Hunter Valley are becoming increasingly difficult to contain. Eddie Meyer begins our coverage of the fires. He spent the day with firefighters around Sydney's northern beaches.
A glow in the night sky, the eerie result of an afternoon of fires in Sydney's northern suburbs. Minimal at best, firefighters concentrated on protecting homes and lives.
It's a scene being repeated throughout Sydney today, a wall of flame bearing down on houses. All firemen can do is stand and wait and hope they can push it back.
The flames burnt out bridges along McCarrs Creek Road. The firestorm jumped Mona Vale Road, a major arterial route.
The day is planned down the gully, but we're also expecting it to come up towards us. It's entirely up to the winds.
The fire is now on a collision course with homes around Winmalee. At the moment, the breathing space for residents is about 3 kilometres. The houses which are under threat are all being guarded by fire crews. The situation here is critical. The fate of this district hangs in the balance. The fire is now turning ugly, boosted along by westerly winds. It's now converging on homes in Somerset Avenue here at Springwood. The firemen really are helpless to do anything. They've told everyone to get out of their homes. They're just sitting here waiting for the flames to come over the homes and then they'll try and fight them. But at the moment, as you can see, the wind is swirling around. No one really knows what's going on. They're hoping and praying that these houses will be spared and that the fire will go along the gully behind them. But at the moment, the winds are swinging this way, that way. It's anyone's guess what's going to happen. Everyone's been evacuated. It's actually 5 o'clock in the afternoon now. You'd think it was at midnight. There's just no light. It's been covered by smoke.
Now, the enormity of the situation in the Blue Mountains just cannot be understated. Damian Ryan joins us now. Damian, what's happening there at the moment?
Well, John, we had to get out of that street. We saw 3 houses go. We had to retreat. Firefighters retreated. We've since been told the fire has been pushed further along that ridge. Winmalee, there's 1,500 homes there. They're all in danger. There are more homes further down Hawkesbury Point, I think it is. I don't know this area that well, but it's quite frantic down there. There's thick smoke. Where I am now, there's just been fire engine after fire engine rushing to help, but really I don't think there's much they can do. The wind is so strong, so frightening. So many times we were standing behind firefighters and they just said, pull out, you just had to go. It was just a very frightening and very scary situation.
Damian, has it reached the stage where firefighters are going to have to say, look, we just can't do anything more?
Well, I think it's very difficult to say. In that street where I was just moments ago, that was the reasoning. That they couldn't do anything. It was just hopeless. And really it was running for their lives. They checked it to make sure no one was inside the homes. And so really they're in a no-win situation.
And at the moment there's no sign of that wind abating?
No. In fact, it may have dropped a little, but it's so weird, this wind. It stops and then you can feel it swirl. It's just like an eerie swirl that goes through you. And you can hear the tops of gum trees just, being whipping up the flames. I saw a number of crowns where treetops were just, flames were bouncing from one treetop to the next and then just pouring onto homes.
OK, Damian, we'll leave it there, but do keep us posted, won't you, as things develop up in the mountains?
At the moment, as I said, the situation is extremely critical. We are aware that at least a dozen homes are under threat. By now, they could even be burnt to the ground.
OK, Damian Ryan reporting there from the Blue Mountains. Now, there are precautions that you must take if fire is threatening your home. If you think you need to leave, don't leave it too late. Get out early. Research has shown that homes provide the best shelter during bushfires as long as they're solidly built. Flashpoint in the mountains came after a tense day. Firefighters were helpless to prevent the onslaught as flames raced towards homes from the Gross River Valley. The scene at the Northern Beaches Peninsula is horrific. Westerly winds have fanned the fires, and now the major hotspots are Eleanora Heights and Narrabeen. Thousands of people have been evacuated from a war veterans hospital at Narrabeen on Sydney's North Shore. Eyewitnesses say the smoke is choking everything in sight. Dozens of homes have been burnt in Eleanora Heights. To the south, a reprieve for residents was short-lived as flare-ups around Illawong late this afternoon had residents scrambling to protect their properties. One person is dead in Janali. Several houses in Heathcote and Helensburgh are reported to be on fire, and the Como West Public School is also going up in flames. A firestorm is threatening a wide area on the central coast around the city of Gosford. The entire town of Woy Woy has been evacuated, and authorities are also clearing nearby Umina. Gosford Hospital patients are also being moved out tonight, and hundreds of homes under threat and many residents have been evacuated throughout the day. And that brings to an end a special edition of 10 Eyewitness News. We'll bring you regular updates on the fires throughout the night, and a full report, of course, at 10:30. From John Gatfield, good night, and we leave you with pictures now from a helicopter over Eleanora Heights.